We'll make our own Cult of the Dragons. With actual dragons.
We're gonna make Cult for the Dragon. Oh,
By the
apparently it did actually arrive on YouTube, and now I... What?
Now we
No,
turned it out.
it's saying live. I think I'm live.
Hello. Is it alive? Oh, yes it is.
Hello?
Is it alive?
Hello.
Oh, yes it
World?
is. Is it alive?
Hello? Yes, okay.
Is it... Oh.
Okay, we're good to go.
All right, good. Where were we?
I will close OBS.
Man.
Good. So, sheep. You fill out when I was asking you. Pretty much, there's no obvious marks here. There's no tracks to find of these things. It simply seems to have been too long since they were moved, or maybe they were moved by magic in some way. Though, given their size, unless someone wanted to, somehow teleport them all a great distance or something, they might be somewhere not too far away. Given that there is no real path, though, you might have to just look through every nook and cranny of these general mountain region. I mean, who knows what sort of things there might be out there to find.
And then Ari was bringing up, like, is Valignith going to take an L here and say that Ari was right? Or... This was Ari, by the way, who was saying this. Like, I did not say anything. Just want to make that clear.
Sounds like someone making you like, oh, but you were thinking it. I just voiced it.
I absolutely was not.
I hear a smirk. I know it.
I can show you my face right now. It is smirkless.
No smirk.
Bereft of smirk.
Pop, poker face.
Emmy has a reputation of being right a lot, and Valignith is, contrary to popular opinion, not very vindictive, so that's fine. No, but if he thinks that searching everything and everywhere might potentially lead to a result, that's something he's going to pursue. Not by himself, but probably once we leave, he's just going to put his people on it. Like, he's got, like, flying behemoths and lizard folk and just a lot of eyes.
That's better than blowing up every nook and cranny.
That would be option 2, but gunpowder is expensive, and,
Maybe it's underground. It has been like months since his troops, or years since his troops, destroyed another mountain. So they're getting a little prickly. Understand?
Yep. Missouri is probably like waiting by the time like Valignith is like returns. He says, "Did you find anything?"
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
They might still be nearby, but I'm not gonna search everything by myself. Besides, we don't have any significant time pressure. Another day this can wait.
She says, if they are still nearby for whatever reason, then no, it's not as if anyone had bothered this location before us anyway. Besides that lich. I have thought about attempting to keep a closer eye on Besserek's tomb. I am uncertain of how to go about watching it. His imps can travel wherever he can. They have shown themselves to be with the cloud giants when one visited you, and one snuck all the way up to me in my lair to speak with me. So even if we were to watch for visitors, I do not know how to prevent Besserek from connecting with anyone and offering a deal. Do you have any ideas?
No idea that seems reliable. I had briefly considered settling some of the lizard folk around the tomb and telling them to guard it, but that doesn't seem very solid either.
And he sort of like squints like really hard and says, frankly, it would be more satisfying and perhaps more effective and maybe even a bit cathartic if there were to be some sort of tragic mud rock slide from the terrain above the tomb, and it were to be covered so that no adventurer or excavation team or any curious individual could get into there, at least without us realizing it.
I suppose I'd always assumed that we at some point want to get in there again.
She says, well, if we ever did, that would be far into the future, yes?
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, I don't know.
I take Berserk at its word that our return would mean our death.
Perhaps burying the place would be a possibility.
She says, it's not quite spring yet. There's enough mud that comes around during those times. The ground will be loose enough that something could be arranged, perhaps. You've shown a knack for terraforming, Valignith.
I just worry that. No, that's a silly concern. You're right. It's going to take a lot of effort, hence why you're making me do it, but sure.
She says, I had asked whether you had any suggestions. I thought that the destruction of the surrounding terrain would be the cleanest solution, because we cannot afford to watch it all the time. Nor could we entrust any of our minions to do that without revealing truths they should not know.
I suppose so.
I do not know how forthcoming you have been with your minions, but I certainly endeavor to never let any of them know about our curse of lethargy, or that Basarek dwells even now in that tomb, waiting for us to die. Not just waiting, actively working to ensure it occurs.
Certainly never mentioned Basarek to anyone.
Yes. She pauses and says, I just thought of something. This could be nothing. Correct me on this. After you first went missing, I went to the Fane and communed with that silver dragon Rearmanthir. While I was there appeared to be some sort of visitor from Nathlin who was interested, who you had permitted to observe the ongoings of dragons. Is that individual still there? I never thought about it since then. I'm only just bringing this up now.
No, he has left, I believe, shortly after I was captured. Since I was the subject of his studies, it didn't, I assume, make much sense for him to stay.
All right. Good. He was too curious and tried to listen in on Rearmanthir and I. But she sort of like rolls her body. It matters not now.
So, how do we continue pursuing this lich?
She says, I don't know. This is something that you and Versicatrix had a deep investiture in. This was the only idea substance I had.
Have you ever asked the Oggmites about the history of this place?
She says, I have not. I do not wish to strain the contact I have with them unduly so. It is not information I could see myself immediately profiting from, as I have with other inquiries as to the nature of infernal contracts, as to the nature of aboleths, as to the nature of purging spell plague, as to the nature of. You see the point.
I just feel that if we had an idea of the purpose of this place, not just it's a tomb, but why it was designed the way it was, it would give us answers we could work with.
I do not believe the Oggmites would have those answers. Giants would probably be the best go to. In fact, maybe even the stone giants that have so fled from Vigdis's reach. But we are not on good terms with those giants. Nor do I believe we could reach them.
Do you think Victus could reach them?
She says, no. The stone giants, to my understanding, were strongly connecting to the hierarchy of what was, and not Vigdis's new vision. It is part of why she has reached out to you, because she is in needing of greater power, which is what I capitalized on when I motivated her faction to aid against Thunderhome.
Well, if we're sure there's nothing more here to find, I think I've got some thinking to do.
She says, enjoy your time sunning, Valignith. Alright, we can end that scene. We fly our separate ways.
Sure.
Boop.
Cicatrix, is there anything you want to pursue here with the earlier? Should we begin to go through other factions that might have things they want
You
to?
know, I might as well, try and party like we did last time. Maybe one day my friends, my people will be really motivated, right?
We just broke the Cormyrian fleet. It's time
We did
like,
pirating.
it's
We
time
did
to heal
long time
sovereignty, you
ago.
fucking bastards.
Like, the Cicatrix will even bring some dead people to party, I guess. Like, or I mean, soon to be dead people. Like,
like what?
avoid it. Like, like what's a party without some murdering, right? Like that's clearly that was wrong. We did the murdering beforehand. Obvious beginner mistake. The Cicatrix now realize this. You need to bring it to the party as it is. But first I will try and rise my treasury with what is it? Influence and sovereignty, yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's what we
pulling
usually
on connections.
Oh, Symbian
in the
money.
city for it.
Yeah.
Here
People on the
for
city
it.
council
Yes.
who are happy to know that the friend they worked with now turns out to be a dragon this whole time.
Right?
Nice when things work out.
Yeah. Maybe it's for the best they didn't write you off or try to, betray you or anything.
That's the lesson I want.
They would never.
Yeah.
I said last time, they were like, "Oh, Tessir feels a little weird about you being a dragon." I was like, "Well, maybe they need to not piss off the dragon. That it could benefit them greatly."
You just destroyed the fleet, and it's serious. Like the citizens are not super excited about it, but the Sembians, who are the ruling class at this point, are very happy about it. It's good. It's very good. They of course don't want the dragon to turn against them, but how could it? they have all the profits.
They have money. Yes, right. I mean, oh god, I love Symphia.
Yeah, and that's what dragons.
I mean, they're not wrong, right? Like, all they have
Right.
done is just pay people.
All right, so you raised money a little bit using the double tens in the process too.
It's just, hey,
It was
Symphia,
very happy to pay.
you know?
Extend some resources.
Yeah, so then it is. I have it right here. Territory and treasure.
With a success of 3 or better.
Yeah, just check if I have any chronic essence because I would like to not fail this again.
Yeah. I get that.
That would suck. No more. So that's 4, 6, 7. Um, yes,
Boy,
do it.
Jesus!
that is not a failure.
We do
What
it.
the five tens?
That's,
So that's
the
a
best
party.
roll we're ever going to see.
What the?
so-
Yeah, what does that mean? Is what I was.
Just say like I've gotten a lot of bullshit for my rolls. I've never fucking slung out 5 tens.
On 8
That,
dice.
that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
transcends Thunderhome numbers right there. Like I don't want to hear anything for the rest of the time.
that is incredible. Like, yeah, there's no argument. I don't even know what that means. I mean, you spent essence. You're personally involved, so I suppose it is the part
It's the
of
party.
celebration
No,
of
I'm not
plunder.
joking. We brought people to kill.
Yeah.
We have some Chimerians we saved. Like, I escorted
I like to
them in, like,
imagine this is a party that
know?
even like the Symbians back in Symbia hear about, and they go, "Damn,
Yeah,
shit."
No, yeah.
these guys- yeah. Raise your sovereignty. You did it.
Can I?
Jesus.
Is it raised for it from now? Like, immediately?
Yes.
Normally it would be a -1, but I guess with 5 tens, no, you got
Take a year. It doesn't take a year for them to get
Which
into
are
it.
good,
They're into it. You know what? They are the marked. Yeah.
That's
Many
right.
of the newer guys volunteering to get the acid burn. That's rare for them too. So yeah,
They're well liquored up.
it's a good spring.
Jesus. There we
I
go.
mean,
A good spring.
great.
Talk
It's
about a
it's
trip,
great.
though. I mean,
Murder.
God. The 2 tens before to like raise it, then I'm like, well, it'll be airy. Like last year she did all this and all the prep work resorted in there. But no, not this time.
blam. No argument. You could not stop her.
Last time I did a mistake. I thought the Cicatrix kills the party. She is the party. Turns out the psychos just want the dragon to get involved.
It just took her like a year to figure out how to like properly like
She
present it.
researched it. She was like, okay,
Some
party.
people actually love having like a dragon ruler because they think makes them powerful.
I mean, it does.
How do I connect with my people?
Murder.
Wealth and power. Seems to transcend most.
Okay, yeah, I can work with this. What about this the wrong way last year? We can this time though. This time.
Yeah, well, I
you
mean,
know what it really
that's
taught her
done.
is it's not about the people, it's about her, right? Like last time she was like, yo, I gotta give you all the resources, do your thing. I had like +3 to treasure, like paying for it. It didn't work. That is like, it's really about her, right? So that's,
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Maybe last time they went to each their different pub in whatever subgroups they have. That doesn't really shake them together as an organization.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very, for a dragon mind, it really, like, when she thinks about it, it really makes sense. Of course, she's the center of the universe.
Mhm.
How could you think of this? That's silly.
And you led them to victory.
I did.
As an out of character suggestion, maybe she might want to work into either making some preparations against a Cormyrian retaliation, or work on that scheme that she had in mind to misdirect attention away from her.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because as it stands, like lore-wise, Cormier knows what the hell
No, yeah,
happened.
I definitely want to find a way that I can, because Cormier's like, oh no, there's been a black dragon that's been destroyed in my fleet. I want to push that on the stupid heir to the black dread or whatever the fuck. Like, somehow.
I mean, to be fair, Cormier is not only concerned with the black dragon; they're also concerned with the red dragon.
Yeah, well, you know,
Together, you have certainly proven
we already
that
killed
bad
Hesitate,
dragons in the
so I
Dragon
can't
Coast.
blame her.
Worse, rumors say they're on Symbian payroll, so this might be the proxy war continuing.
That's preposterous. It's been a long time since I've directly received money from Sembia, but I mean, Sembia, if you,
Yeah.
you know, so
Look at
I
your
don't know.
Symbian party cups.
Yeah.
if you want, I mean, I'm here. Just saying.
Couple of Mark playing beer pong with the Symbian party cups, like over in one corner. Just like if Cormier even did anything to attempt to be informed, though, it's the glut of information available would just be so easy for them to scale it. It's like, this is what happened.
I guess I gotta look in around here to
Yeah.
see.
Like that wasn't even me like trying to say like just remember that is a
Oh yeah, definitely. I want, because I don't know that I can stop. Like, I mean, I can try and influence Cormier, but like, it's gonna be a lot harder to be like, no, hey, dragons are not a problem. No, we're just already talking about. You got other things to deal with.
Yeah, I don't
guess
think
it's
that's
a lot harder
possible.
than, hey, there's a dragon. That's Black Dragon in Westgate. You know, the hellhole.
And I
You
even
probably
know
help
where he
him.
lives. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. He also works with devils. Yeah. It's-
You should say he
and
works
dragon.
with demons. Just
Yeah,
chaos.
it
Yeah,
yeah.
not even lawful at all.
Yeah.
All of the dragons trying to.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, the cult of the dragon. Yeah, there is trying to become a Draco Lich. Oh, that's pretty bad, huh?
And now their plan is moving on. Now that the fire knives are gone, there's no like powerful
no one
force
to
that could
stop
stop them. Yeah,
You know. Yeah. Yeah.
there you
I'm
go.
gonna look at the company stats. I'm gonna have to make up for this for a bit. No, we know it's gonna be a horrible fail because not like
You're
this.
probably just gonna get
gotta
5
be
pins
the luck.
again. On
This
2
is
dice.
gonna be the luck that I had today, right? Like,
Like, yeah, you've already gotten 7 tens you've
you
made.
know,
So
it's gonna be all ones and no pairs and stuff. But I feel
That's a 50-50 10 to dice ratio right there. So
right. So you know, if you all want to do something, I'll try and figure out what stats I can minimize here.
no, I'm perfectly fine with Manikai going through initiative. How about you, Sheep?
Unmute myself? Yes.
All right. Well, whatever he thinks, then basically you just maybe like capture her in indecision if Cormier acts fast. I like it. Let's
see
go.
who's at top.
Though I would like to follow up on my promise to send Willingness people to search the area around the City of the Dead.
Right.
Like, I don't know if that's an action, but that's what he intends to do.
If you want them to comb through the mountains, yes, that would have some.
Yeah. Comb the mountains, the skies, the tunnels, just everything.
Yeah. So I think that is it would normally be informed with influence, but thing is, there's no one here that you could like talk to. So this would be sovereignty and might. You're extending you're trying to learn, but it's by sending people out and like knocking stuff over. It's like manticores and stuff out there. Who knows?
Sovereignty might. All right.
You might die in the mountains. Turns out, pretty inhospitable.
I think this is definitely something that Willingness himself will participate in. It's very frontline kind of leader. Double sevens.
7-7. All right. Yes. You have your people a good amount of them now. this would take time, right? And you didn't roll more than a double, so I'm just gonna roll some dice as well, and then see, because this is one of those things where there's a bit of a contest to see who gets there first.
Are you saying it's gonna take 2 rolls to resolve something in the 1-roll engine?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that someone else is rolling too, and whoever gets better
Oh,
gets there
okay.
first.
Yeah, this is an opposed test.
That is worse.
Yes, so you get there first. As you send your people out exploring, not particularly fast, but it's not going anywhere. As yeah, they will report that they have found several things. It looks like there's lots of winding wind tunnels, basically tunnels eroded by strong winds being channeled through the mountains, meeting sort of long wailing canyons that leave ghostly sounds as the wind blows through them. Beyond that, of course, up against the stormy central mountain peaks, there's very little there of anything. But nearby the dead city, um, they have found a large cave. Looks like it to be somewhat natural, and some part of it has been hollowed out additionally, where there appears to be abandoned stuff. It looks like Thayan equipment. There's some like a bit of a mining tools, a lot of like scattered bits of bones, cloth thrown around, tables with paper that's long since been like blown away. Yeah. Beyond that, they found the stones here.
Okay. Any indication of what exactly happened?
It looks, I mean, whatever happened, it probably wasn't abandoned willingly, given that, well, some of the stuff they figure if you left, you would bring your things, right? It's not particularly valuable, but even if you're a wizard, you don't just leave like books and stuff to decay in wind and weather. Looks pretty old though. They've been here for a long time.
Well, then we'll fetch the stones and bring them to the Fane.
All right, that's some heavy carrying work, but he's a strong dragon, so taking them one at a time, we can certainly make it happen.
Like two skinwing behemoths too. Surely they can carry all of
Yeah,
those.
yeah. They strap them to their feet and get things. They're pretty sturdy, all things considered. Even if they're already a bit cracked, and like one of them is certainly broken. Some of them it's very hard to make out any of the words due to just damage over time. It seems like someone has worked on like brushing them up and cleaning them out and such to read them potentially, but seems like that work was never finished.
And once that's finished, Valigna will inform Emmy that he has indeed found the stones. If she cares.
I think like the message that he'll get back over the stones is what?
That stones with
Blown away by the wraith harpies. There's some sort of Thayan nonsense laboratory far away from here. How?
Turns out they were flown to a Fane camp, the inhabitants of which have, well, died. We found bones there, and all the equipment was scattered about.
She just blinks in confusion, like no one traveled to like the dead city, so no one could have possibly raided the Thayan camp, because no one would have known the lich was there, right?
I don't know. Maybe the Lich and those Fanes worked together, and the Lich delivered the stones for them to look at, and then he killed them or something.
No, he was a Thayan. I thought he was a Thayan. I guess he could be anything. It? Huh. Maybe he was recalled. They could probably do that. Huh. Well, I was wrong. Good work, Malignant.
So, what do they say?
She blinked rapidly. What do they say? Oh, like squint at them. I can try. Oggmites use their help to pick this up. But I think communicating with Victus is a bit different than trying to read this. Sure, we'll give it a try. How hard could it be? Dead language.
Well, there's not really words. It's just,
Yeah.
lines of little illustrations.
Yeah. She attempts to interpret the hieroglyphics, I guess, with her newfound understanding of understanding giant.
All right. Give me a history check.
You got it. $17.
We need an
this isn't
intelligence-based character.
As far as she's seen, whenever giants write, they'd write in runic script, not hieroglyphics. So the knowledge of giant won't really help her here.
Got it.
Beyond that, some sort of dead language, or at least one that I don't think she's encountered before.
Yeah. Well, that actually is information unto itself. It's maybe like, several minutes pass, and she says, "Oh. Huh. Looks of a Valignith. So... I don't know what these mean. As in, they're not in a script that the Giants use, or at least not one I know that they use.
So, who would know?
I don't know. I thought this was Giant. That's what I assumed, based on the city and all the other things we knew about it, and the purpose of those servants that are there for the Giants.
Manakai, is it deep speech that is the Underdark?
Yes.
Yeah.
She says, if it was in the language of their servants, then that's got to be all gone. She says, I wouldn't even dream of attempting to haul one of these to Red and Seer. Though I'm sure they would effusively gush over attempting to translate it and hoard it for the rest of eternity. It could be of some value if you were to sell it to someone who cared about such things. She says, I can't imagine Victus would have an answer. Other than the Oggmites, Thayans, but it's not as if we wish to seek them out. I don't know, Valignith. I am genuinely puzzled.
We should let the Oggmites try to decipher this. I'm assuming their entire point is to be useful to you. So this seems to be a task that would suit them.
She hisses and says, I did say I would exert whatever effort was required if you found them. She clenches her teeth in obvious frustration. I'll have to haul them there.
Start with one. They can't actually.
You won't need the stones, you need what's on them, right?
She says, she obviously looking for any way out to make her work easier. Yes, if they were transcribed flawlessly, the positioning of the script and what else is depicted might matter. I don't know. I thought I knew what they said.
We can make a copy of these. I wouldn't want the Oggmites just keeping the stones.
Of course not. I wouldn't want to haul it all that way anyway, yeah. Maybe it could be like a... Yeah. Here's what I'll say. Like, you get me, have your minions transcribe in whatever detail, like one of the tablets. I show that to them and make them think that's some sort of transaction, that it's possible that if it's knowledge that they're interested in, they might be able to pay to acquire, even if you never intend to sell this. Yeah. And that could get them to do more translation work, and they love hoarding knowledge. Good. I can work with this. They're stupid.
But it will not then. Basically, turn towards the eastern entrance into the depths of the Fane where the workshops and such are. And basically just shout down there that he needs a few ingredients like clay and sand, because he's going to make copies of these by casting them in metal.
Oh,
doing like a mold and then just a thin like sheet of brass or something.
Sure. The dwarves love it. Fire up the furnaces.
How am I going to explain to the Oggmites how I made or found these?
You're smart. You'll figure something out.
She doesn't have a counter for that.
It's like, what are you supposed to say? That you're not smart?
Yeah, they will be made. And fairly fast, all things considered. The dwarves will inquire if you also want the really, really broken one, because that's sort of hard to cast in many pieces, but, they'll do what they can with it.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Seems like
Make a copy of everything.
Smashed in the center of it, as if something big punched it, just broke it completely. But sure, yeah.
When that's finally done, she's taking one of them. Doesn't matter, whichever one. One of them at random.
Roll me a d4.
Yeah, give you a d4.
Let's see which one she takes.
4.
That one. All right.
She picks that one. Yeah, if it's the draconic equivalent of a scowl. She's boxed herself into the situation. She didn't fathom that they were anywhere in the mountains. And the fact that this has happened. Yeah, she put this on herself. Felt like further complaint. Takes that one. She flies away. Stops the hill. Sighs. Then begins heading towards Reddenseer. This fucking green dragon carrying like this lengthy
Thor-sized copper.
Yep.
Bronze plate.
Yeah. At this point, I don't think she bothers with the little isolated tower where they used to meet, because their relationship has changed over the years.
It's true. Like, especially she gets in, though she kind of has to, it's hard for her to get in the doors. They're not built for dragons.
It's
But,
true.
she'll get there. I think we can probably just move along. You can. So what exactly is the deal here that you want to give me? You sound like you had an idea.
Yeah. So Imizure will convey to the Oggmites that in her explorations of the Giants Run Mountains, southwest of Reddenseer, she came across an abandoned city which appeared to be inhabited by servants of the giants that ruled there ever so long ago. Within that dead city, there were depictions that were written in what she had originally thought was the language of the giants themselves, but instead have been written by. Rather than haul that there, she has brought along a copy, rudimentary though it may be, of one of the depictions to A, ascertain whether she's correct, and B, ascertain whether the Oggmites themselves have interest in this knowledge. Because if they do, then it's possible they might be able to broker a deal where she could sell these to them.
The
But if they do not
Oggmite
have interest in that knowledge, then
will look at it, and predictably, the response will be that they're interested in all knowledge, as long as
Yep.
it is true, and ideally might have value to somebody. Then they want to keep it from them. Yeah. Now they will, inquire if this is is this a copy or is it original?
like
It would appear that it would appear that there's cracks and such that are
yes, she will describe like the nature and current condition of the stone.
okay. They are very interested in the originals, obviously. That would be grand. But yes, they can understand the script. They have people who are skilled in such things. They will inform you that it appears to be written in the old dialect of Mulhorandi.
Yes, I remember that vaguely from sessions past.
For them to ascertain the value of the knowledge, but they know what they actually say to.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. And she knows them well enough that they would care so deeply about the originals, even if they fully had like the copies. So yeah, makes sense. That it would be
Even bring their Kaba Dragon assurance member who is here to check for fake artifacts. Look at it. Because this is the kind of thing we cover from the mountains. They're always suspicious about.
Okay.
Because there's a Kaba Dragon who's been placing all sorts of things out there. Well, it was until she killed him. So
Yeah.
who would constantly mess up their stuff.
Oh, I think upon like mentioning of that, like, that it could be the work of Sterlix. Now it's even better that she brought the Oggmites, because she had not even considered that.
Yeah. They hope that if it says something about his dumb historical OC being involved, they've blacklisted certain historical characters as being just fake inserts by this dragon.
Yeah. Okay.
You know them by being impeccable jokesters, incredibly funny and charismatic, and somehow always having a band of friends that are larger than realistic for an adult of that age.
Yeah. So she'll take the time out of her life to like whatever like Oggmites would like to go to the dead city. She'll actually take the time to like haul them herself to like go there to the city of the dead, because this is the statement that she made to Valignith, and she won't go back on that, to like give them the time to admire and ooh and ah. And
she carries them there.
Yeah, she carries them herself. They get back into riding.
It's starstruck. Riding a dragon to an archaeological site. Is there a better thing to do when you're an Oggmite monk? Probably not, really. Well, maybe reading a book a whole day or something. But no, yeah, they will spend some time there. Maybe even ask, could they just stay here for another couple days and then she could.
Yeah, sure. A couple of days, and then she'll come pick them back up.
Yeah. With all that done, though, they will translate the one that she has brought, and it seems like a courtesy to let her know what it says.
Sure.
That's sort of a part of the payment, obviously, but she's sort of giving them the context, so that seems only fair. So the one you have brought them reads: "The chosen dreams of freedom. A distant dream, for the storm is strong. Quiet those who are afraid. Hush the fear within. The chosen bids us rest in dreamless sleep. When we awake, we will be free. Do not disturb our slumber."
All right.
Could you paste that text for my notes?
I need more. Fucking get those tablets for them. And why didn't I build an intelligence character? The knowledge.
Because you heard the party was lacking a striker.
I did.
Okay. So the courtesy repaid. Missouri will pardon like the Oggmites and Red and Seer on amiable terms.
No,
go ahead.
The memory of the Kaba Dragon does just make them happier with you. They've really breached that chromatic metallic gap.
I'm glad those preservers of knowledge still remember the slaying of Opus Derelix, even if other creatures will forget.
They remember. They have a tapestry.
Yeah. God, that's another reason I want to keep them around. They're just like, they will remember, even if other creatures forget. They know.
All in that front hall, there's like a big tapestry of the like green dragon, like ripping out the heart of the copper one.
God.
Does she stop for a moment, appreciating it? Oh.
Yes.
Standing up beside it, like looking, is it a good representation of her?
Yes. No one else has made a tapestry of her doing that.
The Oggmites is something that is central to them because it is, yeah, it is. That was sort of a holy fight, really, for them. It's been nice. They will not forget.
Awesome. Oh, that reinforces the relationship that she has with them, and she doesn't like intend to, like, at least at this point, if we're gonna go with malignant terms, like she doesn't want to vassalize them. She doesn't like want to like break them apart. Like she really values this relationship, and she's ever so glad that she killed that fucking copper dragon to build this relationship.
And also, they have a tapestry, just
Even if
right
she
in
had
the book.
set her relationship on fire with Malignant to do it. Only in destruction was the truth of their relationship revealed. After like parting ways with them, she'll return to the Dragon Fang, and she'll say to Malignant, "I have spoken with the Oggmites and informed them of the City of the Dead. I even took a couple of them, a pair, to the city itself directly so that they make illustrations of it. I told them of the story of the panels and their condition, and that there were a total of 5, one mostly damaged, and they expressed a strong interest in acquiring them were I to tell them what it is that I sought in exchange. For the courtesy of the relationship I have built with them, and of informing them of the City of the Dead, they translated the one tablet, the copy of it, that I brought to them, and she repeats what it is that they said to her, which has been written for Sheep in the chat.
All right.
And she says, they have expressed an interest even in seeing the other copies, so that they can look for themselves. I am confident they would also do the courtesy of translating that for me as well. And that is so that they will know the worth of the knowledge, and I will know the worth of the knowledge, and that a price could be agreed upon. My question would be whether, knowing what is written there, would you be interested actually in selling them to the Oggmites?
If they are offering enough for them while also translating them, then perhaps they have no other use to me other than what's written on it.
Yes, and they have a clear and obvious someone else wanted them, yes? So they must be desirable to someone, and the Oggmites will recognize that as well. And they love to hoard things that other people want.
I am counting on the fact that the Oggmites will refuse to share these with anyone.
It is their way. Those of Redensir do not share freely. It is only the relationship I have cultivated with them that has built this.
Then take the copies, take the real things, whatever you feel like.
She says, I will not take the real things at this time unless a suitable price is agreed upon. What they can pay would not be in... They do not possess the wealth that we She like hesitates like several times, like they just have knowledge. That's what she said. Ends up like blurting out at the end. Like they don't have stacks of gold and silver. I don't think they have tapestries and books and ballistae. She blinks a few times.
Perhaps you could trade them for ballistic.
She says, I like that idea. I didn't think of that. Yes.
Perhaps
That's a
you
good
could
idea.
also ask them about the name of the lich.
She like narrows her eyes and says, yes, if I can think of a way how to word that. But given their interest, they would want to know as much as possible about how I came to... The necromancy thing is not something I wish to broach with them. It's a... I could try, she says, but I don't... I wasn't there when you were told the name. I don't have any connection to it. I can't give them any information about it.
Well,
I don't even
then
have a mind to make up.
simply say that you will tell them everything you know about the name, which is just the name.
She says, if I can find a way to word it, maybe.
Perhaps you could phrase it as something that you know I am very interested in, and it worries you so much, for I am your enemy, and clearly knowing what I'm up to would help the Oggmites in the long run, because you could foil my plans or whatever. You'll think of something.
She says, maybe I could make it work that way if it's something you're interested in. And they will certainly know about the dangers you cause with the destruction of Elversalt, so they know your presence is real and exists, and I can lead them to assume that would have happened to Redensir, were it not for me. Yes, you went west because of me. Yes, okay, yes, bringing you up should work. Yes, why didn't I think of it? All right. I think then, just to speed this along so that we can actually go through the initiative and so that Aerie isn't waiting for Cormier's, like, hammer to fall or what have you, that over the course of, like, the weeks, Aerie will, like, bring, like, the copies to them. And in exchange, she'll express a vested interest in, like, acquiring, like, magical ballistae. Because, as it turns out, the Red Death, Valignith, has gotten other winged minions, behemoths, and don't fly. And perhaps the Oggmites have heard of what happened in Elversalt. Valignith has geared up and armored up and armed up, and there's like some sort of like lich that's been made mention of that Valignith is made a deal with, called a Gregarin Death King, and she has concerns, and so she is absolutely willing to like sell these tablets to the Oggmites if they help her gear up to fend off Valignith.
Yeah, they are concerned with Malignancy. They understand that he was responsible for detonating a historical site of unknown archaeological value.
It is 100% accurate. She's not even lying.
Demolishing like parts of this region's history that has existed for thousands of years. Where, I mean, it is said that it was a cloud palace with libraries and all sorts of information that now will never be shared. And though it is not held by the Oggmites, any knowledge out there is knowledge that they could potentially have someday. So
Yeah, that is
now
again,
it isn't anymore. They're very concerned.
not a lie. Everything that they That is true entirely. The Oggmites, they know everything, Ari. You see
Concerned
this
with
shit?
that.
No, the best thing is that
they
every
don't
time
mention Elmosold or Elm. They don't care about that really.
Yeah, I know.
anytime there's doubt, it's
No,
like,
it's the knowledge. Elmosold was never like a
yeah,
historical
you know,
city.
Right.
it's the red dragon. The red dragon
Um,
did it, and everyone's like, yeah, the red
Yeah,
dragon. It's like, yeah, the red
ballistae,
dragon.
magical ballistae. See it. They will ask, is Missouri concerned that she could not defeat? But they've seen her
Oh,
do it before.
like she
Even as Vindictive had other dragons aiding him.
yes, she has slain a dragon larger than her.
They
She
seem
is
somewhat concerned at this revelation.
she is confident that if she were to fight Valignif directly in a duel, much as she fought with Ovisterlix, there would be no
Do you have an answer
contest.
for that?
Do you not hear me?
I hear you.
I can hear you, Graf.
Okay.
Seems like my voice connection is bad.
All right.
Did you respond to my query?
Yeah, yeah. So since you're able to hear me now, she does not have a concern that she defeated a larger dragon than her in a duel, and she believes that that she could defeat Valignith in a duel if Valignith were to fight that duel. But Valignith isn't fighting that duel. He's taken to mustering up an army, and he's gone to the west and into the wherever else in search of like wealth and treasure, and he's blown up like an ancient historical site full of like giant knowledge for that. Like he's amassing forces.
Mhm.
And so it's not just the dragon she's concerned about, but also the dragon and army, which is why she wants the ballistae, so that her minions can do something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they need to be tended to by an Oggmite generally. They don't know really about her minions too much. They don't really go much south from here. I mean, they've probably heard from travelers that there were were-rats and whatnot, but that's pretty open knowledge. They're not really super into it. Yeah, they don't know if they could learn this sort of magic. It is magic after all. They have a lightning mage artificers here who yeah, I mean, where would you want these things built? Do you have a site? They don't you can move them, but generally you would want them to be bolted down somewhere, and then, they are designated a target by their wizard, and then they keep shooting it.
Could they be built on moving platforms so that they don't even need a site for them to be built at?
And considered that, but they can look into it.
Yeah,
dragon hunting situation.
absolutely. Because with the high speeds that they although they're not interested in Elversalt, that city was raised in part by behemoths that came from the Underdark that smashed the city walls, and so she kind of needs ballistae that can move and shoot that.
It is concerning.
Yeah.
The dwarf says, dwarven cleric speaking. It is concerning. Though there's been information that Cormier will assist anyone who produces things that are meant to stop the dragon menaces. So
Yeah.
perhaps they could inquire there. Mirians might send a wizard or two. They have quite a few skills in such things as well.
Yeah. She
to
says,
draw upon.
perhaps so, but I do recall that some decades back, Cormier attempted to assist in this region before, and I saw what happened with Elm. Cormier left there before the Red Dragon burned it.
The Temple Doctrine says that they do not intend to allow any to take possession of anything they have. But if Cormier wishes to deliver them funds, then they won't refuse them.
She nods. No. Okay.
All right. We shall give you the rest of the tablet inscriptions. If you bring them the plates, they will do
Yeah.
so.
They'll be brought. It doesn't have to be translated now if we want to move on with other stuff for the session, but we'll do that for the Oggmites.
All right, we can do it later.
Also, Manikai, one thing Philippus would like to do here. He's got all the plates like laid out on the fane. The dwarf
Hmm.
ominously mentioned that, oh, he may be among us, whoever that creature may be. And, after the whole thing where his minions turned out to be like cloud giant assassins, he does have a few paranoid streaks.
They'll stand around him looking at the.
Yeah, he'll basically keep a very close eye on whoever of his minions might take a special interest in the stones and make sure to investigate those people thoroughly, including like using detect magic and whatever tools he has available to make sure that they are in fact who they seem to be.
Mhm.
Just being off the safe side, not going full like aggressive investigating, interrogating his own people, but paying attention.
Well, as we know, only in destruction is the truth revealed.
You are so right. I'm gonna pay an S's not to kill my own minions. Thank you very much.
He feels the draw. They reveal themselves when you smash them.
Yeah.
And that's right. Like I could detect magic, or I could break their neck.
It's what.
Yep.
It's what seemingly General Victus has been doing.
It's
to
a good
distract
compel that I will pay to get rid of.
He resists the natural instinct. No. Yeah, he doesn't. With his methods still find any that are not even the couple of orcs who've joined to this.
Well, that is either very good or very bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what can you do? So, as we move along, we have other people. Now you're actually paying some attention to what's going on in the mountains, I assume, continuously. Trying
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Because there is a new group moving into the city of the dead. His scouts and such presumably informed that it appears to be a larger group of Thayans. They've looked up from the distance, seem to be led by a red wizard who have gone there and set down. It is very, very soon after you looked around in the space. Essentially, you just get out there and like 4 days later they're there. Investigating the surroundings and looking for what might be a collection of tablets or some such. Or anything really, as they set up a temporary camp to look through these buildings and so.
Great.
All right.
We knew metagame they'd finished their clock and we're coming to the mountains.
So good not to live in the mountains.
And here they are.
Well, if they find something, then maybe we can get wind of that as well. I sort of feel like they aren't the cause of this. They are just here because of us, which is a problem, but a separate one.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely here because of us, and it would be a real problem. It's the thing that hell wants to tell them but can't.
It's literally written in the contract.
Yeah. I think they can just stay there for a bit. Attacking them seems like a bad idea.
Does she tell we're cicatrix or Emissary Ledrathir that the red wizards have moved into
Oh,
the city
yeah,
of the dead, basically?
absolutely. Quick sending stones to Emmy, quick messenger to Vesicatrix saying, hey, that's not good.
No, the Visitrix does not like that very much.
so much unity in these mountains, and now those guys are here.
It's not even the Thirst like Thayan team, though I'm sure this group is much stronger than the little excavation like force we killed so many sessions ago.
Yeah.
I mean, this one isn't like when I say larger, it's like a handful of beings.
Right.
Some
No,
of
but
them
they're
wearing
still
ragged
strong enough.
brown cloaks and thorough head wrappings that seem to cover them entirely, and a couple who are not.
Wait. I hate them already.
They're a force that when you kill them, you have to kill them entirely because any of them that escapes might be able to deliver a message. Or just teleport away, or, if any of them are liches, just whisk themselves back in Azaztam's warm embrace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In 1d10 days, they'll be like, "Hey, you know what I saw?
I don't like it. Well, this.
They moved." That's the thing that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the initiative, yeah.
Sophisticated is walking.
Is
There's
no
a
longer
track
here. So,
across.
yeah. Then we have messengers coming to Emisary Literathir from the south.
Ah, shit. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They bring information about the sought price of a ritual.
Okay.
The ritual can be acquired, and it's at its price. I mean, thing is, I would say base cost. That's a mechanical term. These kinds of magic is not like there's no store that sells
Right.
your like world terraforming spells. It's a unique thing, right? And yeah, the estimated value is 150,000 gold for someone for a spellcaster of that power and understanding to sit down and create several books worth of information that's detailed enough that someone else could read and understand it. However, the people who have created this have a vested interest in it actually being used. Thus, they have made stipulations as the price. Turns out they don't necessarily need 150,000 gold pieces worth of gold, because that's not actually super useful to everyone at that point. Instead, they have other things that they would like that can help mitigate the cost of essentially the labor and the magic that have been woven into the work. For one, any magic items you wish to trade as part of such a transaction are traded not at half value, but at their full value. Because what they're going to do with them is turn them into residium and then use them as components or other things. Beyond that, since these people are an order of magi who have dedicated themselves to ridding the world of the spell plague in the south, there's a very large plague land down there. They want to study the spell. Given that this ritual might well remove the spell plague from Starmantle, and given that each plague land has sort of had its own unique effects, they would like, before it is done, for various plague-changed creatures from Starmantle to be killed, preserved, and ideally sent their way so that they may study them. For each unique creature that can be killed and its body be preserved and brought south, essentially sent your minions with a caravan or something, they will remove 10,000 gold pieces off the price of the scroll.
Sort of like the idea behind this whole thing. Yeah, this thing that we can make will cost us an arbitrary amount of gold, and if you deliver something of true value, we'll knock some money off the top.
Essentially, they will eat the cost.
Yeah.
The reason they bring this up is because they're busy people. Not a lot of people work for altruistic goals. And I suppose this really isn't for Missouri, isn't really altruistic. She doesn't want to remove the spell plague because it's a good thing to do. It's
No.
it's sort of for the doom of all civilization. But they do it because it's mostly a good thing to do, and not a lot of people work with them.
I don't understand. Like, removing the spell plague totally isn't a doom for all civilization. It's gay. No, it
Um,
absolutely is a step in the multi-tiered program.
yeah. So that is how they
All right.
respond.
She receives the messengers well, make sure they're able to rest, they're well fed, and they can leave just fine without having harmed them.
Yeah.
And she'll use her considerable brain power, such as it is, to lay down and think about it while the initiative continues.
Good. Then we have Cormier.
Well, I would like to act before Cormier.
Well, what are you going to do? Because at this point they're trying to act. So
Oh, I thought I could go in before them. I mean, I'm just gonna pirate. That's what I was.
hey, you can do an action before they get to.
Cool. Yeah, because I need money. That's what I need.
Mhm.
Uh, God. You know what? I'll wait until see what they do. My plan is too late now. Go
All
ahead.
right. Because they are currently in a state of a truce with Sembia, who got slapped pretty hard, as it turns out. Sembia did not have a good time up there. Turns out the Cormirian soldiers are better than whatever mercenaries they hired. Probably ex-Centaur too. It was a mess, and they lost out pretty big. So they're licking their wounds. While Cormier came down here strong and with a bit of a boosted ego. The first thing they will do is to reach out to Erebor and finalize this alliance, a two-way alliance that we have got with. They need to make that happen. They need to solidify it because what comes next requires that they have more of a presence in the area. And they do. As early in the year, they will send emissaries. They will talk. Both really agree that, they have had problems with the Red Banner host and such. Elbasalt is a terrible, terrible event, and that should never happen again. And together, they can form a force that is strong enough, which is what they will begin doing. Moving the Cormirian expedition over here and beginning to make it into a multinational company meant to ensure the safety and security of the region. This is this will take a little time, maybe a year, for them to restructure. After which, both of them will help boost the expedition so that they can actively wield it in the region. Good. Beyond that, Cormier wishes to reinstate and help the Fire Knives. Because turns out they came back, but there's still things that need doing. These things need doing in certain places. So they will reactivate them. They will pay a little bit there. Fire Knives actually okay, all things considered. And then they will put them down here. Because yes, Westgate might not be viable, but you know where there's much less resistance to such things? Tizir. Beyond that, you have the wasted wheat. Some people who fled, certainly much fewer than they were, but all good. Let's make those two. Let's make those two friends. So they spend a little time doing that. Then they have to try to talk to a certain dragon turtle. who has been making using the land route, because the water here is slacking. The water has been still just continuing to drain out of the Sea of Fallen Stars, which is making a land route from Mars Semper along the Lake of Dragons and directly around the lake much more viable than it has been in the past. Currently, the road would be very low to the water, and a dragon turtle has been mercilessly hampering any attempt to actually construct a road in the region. Though, if a road was constructed, they might be able to simply march people down there. Marsember, here, that's the capital of Colmir. That's where Suzail, the royal capital, is. And it is a scant, slight walk to the other side, if you could walk. In that endeavor, they will try to engage that. It's not something entirely sure what to do about, though. So they will start by trying to find out more about how this dragon turtle could be approached. Potential friendship. Well, right. So far, they've had reasonable success with their actions. Next thing, they need to do something about these dragon attacks. They have lost their fleet. Things have been bad. Now, Zambia in this case would hire all the mercenaries they could, but Colmir doesn't hire mercenaries. What they do is motivate adventurers. So that's what they will do. They will reach out. Now, they don't have reach any further than the coastline cities. Sort of these, you basically say the northern part of this road here. But whenever you attempt an action in that region, Colmir will try to interfere and mess with you by supporting your opponent with just heroes of various sorts, jumping in, getting in the middle of your schemes, actively trying to get you to stop whatever you're doing, while they attempt, as it can be seen, in a new wave of influence upon this coast, probably more dedicated and more prepared than they have ever been before. Lastly, because it is important, and because they were shown why it is important, even though they don't have a fleet, they'll still try policing the sea.
Oh, wow.
Giving double nines. As smaller, less impressive ships will crisscross, ballistae loaded and pointed both upwards and downwards into the water. There's a reason you see that there's spikes on the hulls now, preventing big things from climbing up. There's more rolls involved, but I didn't need to roll for the rebuilding of their factions. That takes a little time. Here. All right. Sambia is feeling hurt. They have spent mostly this year to try to recover. Knowing well that, no one in the Dragon Coast seemed to like Colmir, so these dragons are wreaking havoc. There's a red banner host. Sometimes you need to earn a little money before you blow it all. The red banner host will send a group of centaurs to outside the Dragon Fane, holding their red banner. Visible from the Fane, but certainly too far to shout,
All right.
There's
Well,
maybe 12 of them there, watching it.
they want to talk, then sure. We'll head down. Respectable distance.
Mm-hmm. Then we will meet with the centaurs. have proven there's certainly, if anything, tenacity. As they're armed with large, broad swords, and both javelins, and some of them with long bows. The centaurs will speak and explain that the Red Banner host isn't really interested in the Dragonfane or the mountains. They had some of that, and they found it to be an ill-suitable place for them. These lands here, however, seem good, and in the future they anticipate, or have noticed, an increase in Cormyrian activity. A people who would surely seek to take this land and tame it as they've done to all the fields of the north. You have attacked the Red Banner host. Your allies have as well. But they believe that it would be in your best interest not. They won't demand tribute from you. They will give you that much respect. And furthermore, they believe in time. Perhaps you will even be interested in helping them or supporting them battle against the Cormyrians when they come with their armies. Because as far as they've understood, they will come for you and for them, all the same. After all, they live in the ruins that you have created.
Well, you see, the issue is that Velagnev made a deal with the fire giants that he very much intends to keep. So he will occasionally try to, weaken the Red Banner host to the point of the fire giants being able to do whatever they want with them. Because he promised to do that, and just because he hasn't done that any recently doesn't mean he's not going to try in the future. But it's only business, it's not really a grudge. He doesn't have an opinion about the Red Banner host living up there, and it does sound good to have someone who's against Cormy up there. But really, they shouldn't speak to the Dragonfane. They should go down south towards the Fire Giants and diplomatize with them instead. If they can work out a deal with them, then sure, the Dragonfane is automatically included.
You see, that's pretty far, and they don't want to go that far.
Well, that's your problem, isn't it?
No, it's not. Not really. Yeah. Well, then they will, say that it's good to know that he at least speaks the truth. We can certainly respect that. They're used to dealing with the Fae, and thus everything is full of hidden meanings.
There's no hidden meaning here.
Mm-hmm. No, they will simply then give him a warning that if they cannot find allies and they meet an enemy that is stronger than them, they will leave Elversalt in a heartbeat. Especially given that Cormyr might also not be friendly with any other cities here. And when those cities are weak, the host might profit. They're opportunistic about anything. They're not married to this place. They're happy to leave go where the resistance is the weakest. If they see a place where that is where profit is possible, then they'll go there. They seem pretty confident in their ability to protect things. So, at least from William. Like to do it against the Cormyrians as well. All right, then they will spend their time instead, just bulking up their strength, covering and exploring, because they have to deal with this purple worm that's beginning to hunt in these areas, and they don't like it. So we're going to see if they can adequately protect territory. All right, they manage it for now, but still, they will actually move out of Elversalt. They're kind of feeling like that's not it. This plane has a bit of space. We'll go here. Cede the other place to the worm, and and perhaps even to the Homerians should they want it. Post camping on the fertile grounds. The Harpers. Everyone else has kind of done Westgate. They don't really want to do a whole lot, but the Harpers are always active and acting. And as they do, well, there's a lot of bad things to deal with in the city. As such, they will begin their work at dismantling the Cult of the Dragon. Systematically, they can get away with it. By doing some covert action. Now, you guys just interrupt me if you want to be involved in some of this, right? Because we've talked about it before.
Keep going.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that I'm not
Yeah.
falling asleep.
Yeah, you know. Wow.
That's the Harper's influence for you.
Well, Old Dragon tried, but we continue being beaten up. Given that conflict isn't really super interesting to us, I'll finish that on off time. But they're in conflict essentially, and the Harpers seem to be winning.
Is there any way?
Hunting them down, trying to get rid of them. They don't like the Cult of Dragon at all. They don't like the Centaurium. They don't like the Black Network much. Like they don't like the Cold Cyric. There's lots for the Harpers to do in Westgate, and they're certainly on the band to do it. Who knows? Maybe at some point people will get tired of them and band together, but no one's really gonna do that for the Cult of the Dragon.
Is there a way that I can try and basically through the Cult of the Dragon let the Harpers know about the Heir to the Black Dread in the city?
Chances they already know. If you know anything about the Harpers, it's that knowing
Okay.
things is their specialty.
Okay.
Thus, they're hard to fool. But you could try influencing them if you want to make them focused on it.
Well, yeah, basically just being like, yo, hey, that guy wants to be a Dracolith, huh? That seems like a bad thing.
The Cult of the Dragon that you're beating up is totally working with him right now.
Yeah.
So chances are they will try to resist. But yeah, go for it. You rolled all the tens, why not? There's influence and treasury.
Yes, I know. So that's why I wanted to do some pirating first.
Go ahead. You have to beat the 9-9 though.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Now it's not so great. I'm just gonna have to flat roll, I suppose. Uh, influence and treasury, huh?
That's what it says, yeah.
God.
I mean, maybe you extort Tazir.
You could certainly go around like being like,
Like, what
it
are
would
they
be a
gonna do?
shame if something was to happen to your nice shot, right?
Yeah.
No, man. I have to live here for a little bit.
I mean, there's a bunch of centaurs that are moving around outside Tazir. Maybe they're open to the idea of.
It'd be a
What are they
shame if you left the town to just be burned, right? Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Nah,
All right.
that sounds like a lot of work. It's too late, man.
Then try to
Yeah, I'll just. Oof, that is not a great pull, treasure. Let's see what my notes were not for these rules. Were for rating.
Now, Symbia is not helping you with.
Well, I was like, it doesn't pay off with Symbiote. Like, it would be better to pirate because I would get more dice for that. But now, policing again.
I mean, you might as well try it anyway, right?
I mean, but the thing is, I'll pirate to get more treasure.
Yes.
Which, if I don't do it, I only lose.
Yeah, you only
Which
lose
will
might.
not help me
If you don't need
influence.
might, then
Yeah, which, will not help me influence fucking the Harpers, right?
sure.
And fuck Cormier. What are they doing policing my orders?
Yeah, maybe you can just like do it anyway. Yeah, no.
It's I had a plan, man. It's like 2 pages, but it's not. It's not for this.
Okay, well then
Uh,
do the plan.
no, it's
All
not.
right.
Not the same data now. Uh, I don't know. I gotta think. It's
Sure. We can continue with others. We have Captain's Council because they want to go pirating. They're the kings of Westgate right now. What are you gonna do to stop us? So they're gonna try to go increase their wealth, their might. To see. Just to see it.
Right, the fleet's been smashed. It's time.
It's gonna be great. Oh yeah. Oh, they bring in the plunder. Look at that. Triple
Yeah.
10, double 8, double 3.
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
you, Cormirian Patrol.
The stories of the loot they bring on. Commoners can't catch them with their ships. Maybe they focus more on the outside there too, and Westgate like sails out here. Let's see. They're having a real good time. Yeah, they're loving it. Suitors hold. Does Victus does Velignith contact the Giants at all this year? Knowing that they're waiting for him.
I mean, he will. He's got a lot on his plate. He can't really commit fully to attacking the Revenues. He will absolutely support Victus if she wants to go for it, but like, there's so many things going on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Felignith had given his word and that he really cared about it. Like, what's up with that? Like, this isn't even like a compulsion thing so much as I'm trying to understand the character here.
I mean,
There's only one answer to a
Yeah.
question like that. There.
There is, isn't there? All right, I'll take it. Yep.
That's such a Felignith question. Like, could I actually destroy them?
You know what, Victus? I've got so many promises going on that have just been laying there for a while, and it's time to at least try to pursue some of them. So it'll be yours. First of all, it's then time for the forges, as usual, which is sovereignty plus territory. Sovereignty is going to be looking very sad, but such is life. That is 3, that is 5. Velignith himself is 6. Double 6, that is a success. Putting my might back to 3 after the workforce expended to comb the mountains. And then I suppose he's gonna say to Victus, yeah, I mean, now's the time. He's ready, but he's not gonna go in by himself. Like they are on the plains. They're in their favorite terrain. This is not gonna be nice.
Yeah, I mean, Victus would basically say the plan is that you weaken them, and she beats them, conquers them, subjugates them. But that sort of necessitates that you go attack.
All right. Just if she's actually ready to
Go
follow up,
as many as possible.
That's
Weaken them so that you can take it after.
That's fine. Has Thunderhome ever responded to a suggestion that, a bit of trust, a bit of help?
They haven't had their turn in initiative yet.
Yeah.
They haven't.
Do I wait for Thunderhome? I mean, they're not going to help, especially now that the Red Venos has moved away.
There's a big purple worm there.
Also that, yeah.
I don't see a reality in which the Dwarves of Thunderhome come to help Felignith.
Alright, well, Dragonfan's going to attack. My plus treasure is 6 plus Villignev, who's obviously gonna be there himself for 7. Double 4s, amazing.
Counterattack. Sure, I get this pool right.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I mean.
So, yeah, you can reduce your one of your attack stats and then additional -1 to might.
Yeah, I mean, Victor, I'm not sure what you want me to do here. Like, I'm not good on the planes. Like, the thing you're requiring me here to do is borderline impossible.
She needs you to exhaust them.
Exhausting myself here. 4, 5.
But a counterattack isn't free for them either, Sheep.
Yeah, they great. Now they only have 2, 4, 6, 8 dice instead of 9.
Yeah, that's a difference.
Maybe this will teach Velignev to be more careful of his promises in the future.
If he does it 7 more times, then they'll be forced to draw in promises.
Let's give it one more good try, and then if Victus wants to accomplish something, then she can take some losses too. That will then be 4, 5 dice. Amazing. For double 8, double 2, that's not terrible.
They will counterattack again.
Okay.
Double 9, double 6.
Yeah, we're gonna stop.
Takes an additional cost.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they will do what they said they would. If he comes with anything heavy, they retreat with arrow and javelin rain. And then they just, when his own people are going back to like the mountains, they just keep harassing them, circling around them. It's an annoying fight, sure. All right. He reports that he's done what he could. Sees it. All right. He's, there's some of the centaurs are tired. They need new arrows and stuff. And more than that. Like a 8 out of Victus wins with the double 3s, as each defense pair can only eliminate an attack pair.
I thought counterattack is opposed.
Yes.
Would that mean
Oh yeah, you're right.
whoever rolls higher wins? Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Is opposed. Instead, slapped. Well, what are you going to do when you're a giant? But keep going for a little bit. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Might be easier for her to subjugate the hobgoblins of Thunderholm than
Right.
centaurs.
Take the roll.
It's they they don't want to weaken themselves too much. They don't really expect it. They didn't really have a threat around, but you never know what these dwarves or Red Dragon might want to do. The centaurs feel like they proved their point. They're not going to take revenge on that. You basically just went in there and gave them some new clothes.
But it was like, good, you were honest with us. And then.
We have various people in Westgate. We're pretty happy to just like breathe a bit. The Cult of the Dragon is, of course, trying to fight back. They have a bonus time when they do. But I'll time. And yeah. Thunder. They see what Malignus is doing. There's a truce. That's important because Thunderhome wants to go, and is Malignus gonna help with anything to help them make an expedition to investigate the underground passage?
I mean, what does that involve? Like, he can't really supply people anymore.
He could smith them some extra weapons.
I mean, he'll make a token
treasure.
effort. He'll make a token effort. He'll get his fortress rolling. Sure. Exhaust his territory here.
Sure, yeah.
That's 5 dice. That's very sad.
He's gonna increase their
Double
might.
one.
That will increase their might. Exhaust his territory.
Now Fandom attacks.
It would be beautiful, wouldn't it? They go down into this.
Fucking rolled for it.
And he will also have information that Thunderhome right now is gaining time is passing, and next year they will have a temporary asset, which is sort of zealots, which if they choose to use them, they can get a one-time bunch of dice when trying to fight him. Most likely it'll be a one-time thing if he himself is used in a battle against Thunderhome. These guys might jump out of the woodwork and
Okay.
and try to overcome, as it were. Especially there's a lot of people gathered there. They sent out the call sort of before figuring out that there was something weird about it. A lot of the people still arrived, and you're not gonna send them home empty-handed. So they still don't know how this is gonna end. So they're sort of staying around. That's the thing that's actively going on. Beyond that, they will delve down, take this chance while there's truce to delve down. And, beyond that, continue to sell their silver wares along the road. Yeah. Yeah, they thought about it. But then again, he would too.
He would. The big old mean red death.
Maybe if they beat his Dragonfane up, then he would negotiate with them on better terms.
It's a sound
Probably not.
strategy.
Probably not.
I was gonna say, I don't think they know a lot about red dragons.
They know enough. They feel like they have some experience.
Mhm.
All right. I believe that's the people who directly act in defiance of you, or in ways I saw that you might want to oppose.
Okay.
Which brings us to I would say closing statements, or if there's anything else you all want to accomplish.
Ari, do you have an...
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to go or should I?
Go for it, Ari. If you have your stuff that you want to enact, you've
Yes. I would like to raise some resources. Basically trying to get myself some treasure. So I
Right.
will do my territory plus influence to try and raise some treasures.
When you race, you would always use sovereignty and the stats. So you'd use
Oh,
territory and
so
sovereignty
sure.
to essentially like tax your members, just charge some merchant ships, merchant stuff from like the warehouses you own, stuff like that.
Remember those 510s? I'm gonna need some of that back, guys.
You
All
know,
right, we
just
had our
say
fun, people. Let's.
or well,
I mean, it's telling that it's at the end of the year they actually get set into motion. Like good 8 months of
yeah,
team building.
it's time to shine.
Yeah.
Give some goddamn treasure. Yes.
Yes. To increase territory or sovereignty.
No. No. Yes, sovereignty, definitely. Cause I,
All right. Oh, forgot your membership fees.
hey, man.
Yeah.
I start grumbling like I dunked my face in acid for this.
With 510s, they're happy.
Yeah.
They're fucking
Now,
happy to
now they
drop their.
can't. Now they can't even get a job anywhere else. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, they're not happy right now with the lowered sovereignty. Like they're thinking of like long-term ramifications.
All right. Well, I am gonna then try and pirate. Fuck it. I need more money. That's what I need.
sure, might sovereignty and your asset.
Yes.
You broke their fleet. Why should this be hard?
Yeah, they've
Fuck it.
only got a double 9. All they have.
Let's see. Wait. Is that...
Captain's Council could do it.
They did. They were happy.
They have a lot of fucking dice.
I think they have very similar to you, honestly.
No,
Oh.
we don't do it.
Well, I mean, this means that it's not even the Cormyrians that stop you.
Yeah.
Turns out maybe you partied a little too hard upon these boats, and they're just not
Yeah,
ready.
you know.
It's probably after the devastation that was seen in this like body of water last year. It just could be fewer boats.
You have to dodge the masts. Stick up. You could try again, though.
I mean, I gotta.
You want to do a decrease to one of them, and then.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, let's see it then.
No. Wow.
No.
Oof.
Yeah, so not the year. You know who didn't who weren't at the shaking together parties? The weird aquatic monsters that
You know.
you have as allies. Like fish guys. Like,
I feel like
"Yeah,
weird
you
is,
exist."
that's kind of mean.
Yeah, your elite aquatic monsters were not there with the team building exercises.
Yeah. Well, God. Do I try again?
You mean you might be better off like so long as like Corbier is actively focused in protecting their pirate stuff, like just trying to beat up one of the other factions that is here to take their money.
You'll just attack someone.
Yeah, but I already have.
Just kill the city guard.
You know, like Order of the Basilisk. I remember the shit you guys caused in Westgate. Just because we're in a different city doesn't mean it's over now.
Yeah, but I have -2 might right now.
Everyone get in here.
And I need the money to actually do what I'm trying to raise money for.
Right, of course.
All right. Well, you put in the effort. I mean, on the nice side, it wouldn't have mattered if Cormier patrolled or not. You know,
No,
votes
oh
from
no,
Votes
my
from
rules
them.
are, you know. Hey, you win some, lose some. Well,
Yeah, basically.
I want to influence the Harpers, but the problem is that I don't. Like, that's gonna be ruined if they found out it's me doing it.
I mean, They know you're a dragon. They figure that, of course, you'd have a vested interest in, like,
Other dragons. That doesn't mean it's not true.
like it could still be true. That, like,
Yeah, it's true.
what you're telling them could be true, and also you obviously have a self-interest
it-
in doing that.
It is true. It wants
You
to
will
be a
be
dragon
telling them.
lich.
The influence role is just to see if you can actually like get them hooked up.
Right. Yeah, I gotta try.
All right, you wanna.
That
Now, they went
is.
against the Call of Dragon sort of their own volition.
Hmm?
They went against the Call of the Dragon by their own volition. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so that would be influence and treasure, yeah?
Yeah.
So that is spend essence. Double 5.
all right, we'll see if they can resist the temptation to not do what they're currently doing. Cannot.
Yes,
You did it.
I did it. Yes, kill that black dread. It wants to be a Draco Lich.
Everyone knows where he lives. It's easy to
Yeah, oh yeah, though yeah. That means he has the locations. He knows that he works with devils. They're gonna know everything that she knows.
I don't think they have a I don't think they have a problem accessing that information either. It's just like it's common knowledge where he lives because he wants people to go there.
Oh yeah. They're like, hey, he wants to be a Draco Lich. Imagine a black dragon being a Draco Lich also. But actually, it's the ruler of the black dragons in the area. Oh my god. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. You did it.
That's it. I will rest. Take my books.
Look, why are we raiding and extorting people? I need money to send a fancy letter to the Harpers.
That
Oh,
doesn't look like me. This is not dragon.
all right. All right.
That's the signature, not from the signatures.
Yeah. All right. Is there any other actions you want to get done? Or,
I do have stuff. Are you done, Ari?
Yeah, I don't. I'll wait.
All right. With the seasons changing, and the oncoming word that the Red Banner host is shifted, and the resulting strikes by the Dragonfane as well as fire giants coming out onto the plains, or rather like their minions. I think Emissary Legis here is gonna basically give a what the fuck is happening message to Valignith. Why is the Red Banner host here, and why are you still attacking them?
Well, in return for more cooperation, I promised Commander Victus that I would help her subdue the Red Banner host, and I'm doing my due diligence.
Why did you make that promise? They're centaurs.
Because the only other thing she would have accepted would have been for me to promise away the silver mine, which at the same time happens to be a sacred, what's the word? A sacred site that giving it away even remotely isn't an option. So
It wasn't yours to give away. You were imprisoned. The dwarves took it.
yes, but we're talking about the future. And there's a big difference between it being taken and it being given away. One can happen, the other cannot.
This is all over that damn mine?
Yes.
She just like snorts.
Well, not all about the mine, but that just means that that wasn't a chip I could have paid her with. And I didn't exactly have much else to give.
Why wouldn't you have accepted the fire giants taking it? I mean, if you're not even in possession of it right now.
Because I will have it back again eventually, so I can't exactly promise to give it away.
You will have it back. Through what diplomatic dealings?
We'll see.
I am seeing the labors of your diplomatic endeavors right now.
I mean, there's a big difference between a place that is devoted, sacred, and dedicated to the goddess of dragons and greed being taken and hopefully eventually recovered either through diplomacy or force, and promised to be given away to someone who's not going to care about what that place is now standing for. I would
I
basically trade the cooperation of the fire giants for the favor of the goddess of dragons. Like, that's not a trade that anyone should ever make.
She says, "Oh, I firmly believe that whoever operates the silver mine will deeply embrace the tenet of greed."
You know what I mean.
She says, "I am uncertain. You have confused me and have made this complicated, and I did not believe you liked complicated."
I'm trying to find a compromise between the current situation and what the future needs to look like.
So none of this is ending in the mountains until you have that silver mine back then, by any means necessary. And since you don't do lies, it's...
There are other options, but giving it away is not one of them.
Have you conveyed that there are other options, like in a manner which Thunderhome wouldn't interpret it as a threat?
Thunderdome isn't even. You were asking about Victus and the Red Banner host.
Thunderhome is who currently owns the silver mine.
They do. There's talks. But I can't exactly promise Victus the silver mine whether I own it or not. Either way.
So everything about this manipulator operating in the shadows, if all of that gets resolved, at the end, you're still going to be fighting Thunderhome over that mine that they will not give to you. So why was I trying to keep them alive?
The goal is not to be in possession of the silver mine. I just cannot promise to give it away. There's a difference.
Then why not let Thunderhome keep it?
Because that wouldn't exactly help Commander General Victus now, would it? Which is what this entire topic is about.
Yes, it's why I started speaking with you. But there's more going on in those mountains than just your relationship with the fire giants.
Oh, glad you noticed.
The only reason that you needed the assistance of Vigdis, why I manipulated her giants, was because of your problems with Thunderhome, which came about over that damn mine.
The mine was tangential to that conflict.
Was it?
It was a reason for it, but not the only reason.
Well, I'm sure your manner of speaking with them contributed, yes. Is your manner of speaking also why the Red Banner host has moved closer to me?
I believe they simply moved because they were about Cormier. They approached me for an alliance. I said I had an agreement with General Victus and couldn't commit to anything, so they simply left rather than fighting Cormier.
Did you offer to mediate between them and the Fire Giants so that you could get out of your promise?
I suggested the two get together, but the centaurs figured it was too far.
She says, "Yeah, I imagine they would. It is pretty far." Says, "All right." Stops the conversation with Valignant. And then she will leave her home and she will fly by herself towards the Red Banner host.
Hmm.
Crossing the river, which she so seldom does as a dragon. Because she wants to very much keep in everyone's reinforcing mind that she is south of the river.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah, she can find the host easily enough. I mean, they usually don't try to hide their presence.
Yeah.
Even if they can move very fast.
Yeah. She'll wing over it several times and then she'll land sort of near the southeastern portion of their camp.
Hmm.
Alone though she is.
Scouts spot her. And a smaller group of them, a subgroup, if you will come out. Much like the one that approached Ustvillig. Good number of probably hunters.
She bobs her head.
They seem to be in good spirits after having rebuffed a bunch of various attackers. Some trophies and stuff they have on them. It's, yeah, she will be hailed. I think they know who she is really.
Imagine
So yeah, it'll be something like welcome to the camp, dragon. Have you come to join us?
I am Imizere Litrathir, slayer of Ophisterlix, slayer of Hezephe, and enemy of the red dragon that you have thwarted on several occasions.
How might the red banner? How might we be of assistance to one another?
I have come to
Things are
express.
unfamiliar to us, and so are their problems.
Yes. I have come not with demands, but to express my appreciation for the actions that have been taken against my enemy.
Seems a little confused by that. That's pretty unusual.
I have little interest in these lands. I stay south of the river, in a region which I am sure the Red Banner host is familiar with. I am on good terms with Dayan, the Winter Knight, who dwells there now.
I'm a little thinking that happened years and years ago.
Yeah.
They split some. There's still some centaurs in the Shining Plains that just sort of got out quick, really, while some people doubled down and rode into Amd. So far, so long ago. But yeah, there'll be some answers. We are not going south of the river, if that is your concern.
Yes.
Then stay here and await chaos in the cities, where we will raid and plunder.
Then I have no quarrel with you if you will not venture south of the river. I am the protectorate of the Temple of Oggma at Redensir. It is under my watchful gaze, and if you have no business there, then I will not ever take action against you.
The winter would have to be very cold for us to bother to get firewood from there.
She says, then splendid. I leave you, then, to enjoy your festivities with your numerous victories.
Uh, there'll be some like centaur whooping. That's so,
She flies away, just shakes her head, but content that they naturally see no value in Redens here, because why the hell would they? And they won't come down to the river.
let's see, Tazir. That's their value.
Yep.
That's a money city right there.
And as far as she's concerned, she tried to burn Tazir to ash anyway with the wasted wheat, so if they burn down Tazir, that's the ruin of civilization. It's not too bad. It's great. Looking at faction here, I think other than plugging holes, the other thing that I want them to do is apparently a new faction has moved into the mountains. A Thayan expeditionary force of wizards, and she wants to be informed about them. What are they up to? Doesn't know, and she wants her whereas to find out.
Yeah.
I don't know if that leans into being informed or espionage.
That would be espionage because they're actively trying not to.
Yep, that
Right.
makes perfect sense. Let's see, that is influence and treasure. Let's go ahead and use territory and sovereignty first to squeeze a little bit money out of my land. That'll be 5 dice. That's 5 dice. Yeah, 5 dice. Nope. Trade is rough this year.
It's also it's pretty far in the mountains, in the dry, hot, sort of spiky, rocky area, right? Again, the main ridge is sort of in this area here.
Mhm.
So we sort of have to like probably go through the valley and then up here and climb into find the
Listen.
dead city. It's really not their terrain.
I don't need to hear their excuses of why they couldn't raise money to go do that.
Fundraiser.
That's right. I have to work that hard. These wear rents.
Yeah.
On a given year. I will go ahead and just ended up doing a pair of rolls with them. The final thing that she will do though is she will send a lengthy letter that will be delivered by Wererat Courier to Wercicatrix, and it will detail something to the effect of, for you, Ari. I am sure that Valignith made note at the start of this year that Thayans have moved into the valley, but let me be more explicit for you about it. Their wizards, of whom I know you have no love, are an expeditionary force directly observing ruins that we dragons, when we were younger, cleared out. And scouts from the Red Wizard, even now, are heading into the Serpent Valley. If they find the tomb with Basarek in it, or find any details about the genesis of our creation, more Thayans will come. And they will learn, and they will know. It is something expressly forbidden that they could never be told. But if they ever discover it by themselves, all will be lost. In the coming years, if you can spare it, I would like you in your southern holdings to take direct action, as I will, against them. Sincerely, Emisore Leadrathir.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that the messenger will have barely made it in. And I mean, we don't like. There's not that far between the Ilford and you know, your hold.
Hmm.
So yeah, Bestigatrix will deliver a very short message. Um, basically to the notion of absolutely, like, that is unacceptable. Like, she can't, okay, is she a little annoyed, that there's left all these fucking proofs of dragons in the area? Like, come on, guys.
Hmm.
As the sneaky black dragon, but also, you know, since they are there, uh, and she is bound to these people, it's also her problem. And, uh, you know.
Right.
Like, she doesn't put that in there, but she's definitely cursed. She's like, how could they not have thought of fucking erasing the trace of their... Like, just like, come on. Well, alright, fair. Like, then, once she has...
It was like over 20 years ago. We've never thought of the City of the Dead since.
Oh, no, yeah, but, she's a crazy paranoid dragon, right? Like,
Yep, crazy paranoid
she
dragon.
only recently came out as a dragon. So,
I suppose that's true. Closet dragon.
so, yeah, but, she will basically say, yes.
All right. How is she feeling? Is she more paranoid now that more people know that she's a dragon? Or does she feel liberated? Like, yes,
I
I am a dragon.
I think both somewhat. Like, obviously, with the red wizards here, it's not great to be a dragon, maybe. But I mean, she is a dragon, and I think she feels a little liberated, honestly. There's a lot of things that are a lot easier when she can help them, especially being a control freak, And also, it has helped her feel like she's still dedicated to her people, of course, but it has also, I think, put a spotlight for her that, if nothing else, she's still a fucking powerful dragon, right? And, you know, if it came to it, she could throw down without the marked. Uh, so I think it has in a way empowered her a bit. Uh, where in the beginning she was terrified when the Harpers found out. I think both the fact that no one has really used that for anything, but also the fact that she was recognized by like the behemoths and everyone else is like, you know what? They're all out, See, it's the same metaphor that they're all out. No one's bothering Gethra because you know what? He's strong, so people don't. And yeah, so I think she feels empowered by it actually. I've not thought of that, but I definitely think
All right. Cool.
no. It's like you're saying last time. It's like Cecile was like, "Oh no, they're a little nervous now that you know a dragon." Well, maybe you shouldn't mess with it, right? Like it's an extra argument, certainly, right? Because they already let her into their quarters, and now they know she's a dragon. So yeah, but she certainly is worried about this.
All right. Yeah. I think it's the final thing. I thought about doing stuff and with like expeditionary stuff, but nah. Lazy dragon here. I'll always wait another year. Star Mantle's been there forever. No need to get a move on that this year.
No, definitely ready next year to throw down with the Red Wizard somehow.
Yeah.
Without making it. See, that's the problem, right? It's like we don't want to like have a big neon sign. You're saying like, oh hey,
It
Red
could be
Wizard here.
it could be something we talk about in the lead up to the next session, the next session itself.
Yeah.
A lot of things happening.
Yeah.
That's like,
And that's we're at the end. I will read you the tablets.
yes.
And then I will post them so you have them for the future. Because it's the kind of stuff you don't remember. Did anyone remember?
So if you post them, I will make a comprehensive text analysis with what little knowledge I have.
Well, so some of it might have been heard, or like 20 sessions ago or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Actual year, but yeah, the first one they are there is a ranking to them. I'll just give you the correct setup. You know, I want to say dwarves all the time, but the Oggmites will figure it out. Our city, a marvel in this hostile place, an island in a sea of inhospitality. The clouds desired silver. We were made to mine and work for them. We tended the fields and lived humbled lives. The next tablet has been shattered entirely. The elders did not believe the chosen. We ground them to dust. The clouds hate the chosen. The lords are strong, and we are small. The chosen dreams of freedom. The chosen always knows best. We threw off the lords as the chosen dreamt. We broke tradition as the chosen commanded. We punished those who offended the chosen. The chosen dreams of freedom. A distant dream, for the storm is strong. Quiet those who are afraid. Hush the fear within. The chosen bids us rest in dreamless sleep. When we awake, we will be free. Do not disturb our slumber. Beyond that, the dwarves would estimate that these are probably a couple thousand years old, and that they were most likely created by a population that was brought here. The Mohorandi were originally brought to this world as slaves, and certainly communities of them were traded and moved around for large construction projects all over the place. It's likely that this population was established here for such a purpose, and that this is some of the text they made in their own language that they left behind. Though, given the nature of the site, it is unknown what exactly happened to them. The dwarves don't have enough context to really interpret a lot of what's in here, though it seems like a chosen arrived and there was some upheaval in their community.
All right. Not anything of direct value to us miscreants. I do not believe this.
No. Well, so I suppose they were slaves of the giants or other people in the clouds. Couple thousand years ago.
Yeah, we had like theories on what like the stuff that Manikai described meant like all the way back
Yeah.
a year and a half ago when we explored the Dead City. I don't think we're actually any closer to discerning like the secrets of not just the Serpent Valley but the Giants Run Mountains.
No, it certainly is a place with a lot of intermingling history, I feel like.
Fucking Faerun.
You know? And then added all the extra layers and planes now pulling closer after the spell plague. Just like, hey, what if we mixed all the things together?
It's too much. No, well. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
cool.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
I hope you had another fun session. I never exactly know what's going to happen, except for, of course, us working on the goals. But
Same.
Yeah. You have to pull that knowledge out that you inscribed ever so long ago, Manikai.
it has been here the whole time. And you know what? It's sometimes exciting that when it's brought up again. Because things happen, right? Things happen around. And some of these things, they will never be relevant for anybody, but I'm the kind of person who wants to see what happens anyway.
We
So
successfully completed a goal to subjugate the Spirehorn tribe.
we did subjugate the Spirehorn tribe. As such, there will be an empty space next time.
Be yours to fill, sheep.
I sure did accomplish an easy goal after 5 sessions.
It was
Yeah, a lot.
in the most benevolent way too. Like it was cool to see like Valignif like genuinely pursue that in like the kindest he can be.
He didn't just trample them.
Yeah. Even as he tried to stick on them, he was also like showing like off his wealth and like stuff, and it was really like that was cool. I do enjoy the play of Valignif like genuinely trying to keep like his word. And, it entertains me as this red dragon who's known for like the visceral chaos destructive nature, and Valignif certainly is that. Also like tries to adhere to like if I commit to something like with a little tiny worm hamlet, I do intend to follow through.
It has certainly been shown right now that he doesn't give his word lightly. Like, and that has really brought problems in a way, right? He just lied all the time. There'd be peace until people learned that it was absolutely untrustworthy, right? Right now he says, yeah, I might kill you. I might not. We'll see. I won't promise I won't. Because I might. And that's the honest answer. Is that what anyone wants to hear? Not really.
No.
But, when he then later says, I promise we've made a deal, then people trust it. And then they might find out that it maybe doesn't mean as much to him as they thought, but I guess that's something we'll see. And now he's made a weapon that can actually crack open a can of Thunderhome.
Tank behemoths.
That's right. He's made his own preparations too, as they've summoned zealots.
And his might be more effective. Eliminating an asset like that is it's something they rely upon. Right? They feel safe in their holds.
Yeah, the issue with all of this is just it feels as if to make actual palpable progress, you need to really commit to something and basically smash down something within the same year. Goal, if you've got 15 fronts you have to worry about. There's Cormyr,
Absolutely.
there's like the Red Banner host, which of course I open up for myself, but I did that so I would get support from the Fire Giants potentially against the front that has now shown itself to maybe not even be a front in the long run, so it's very hard to really do anything, because once you start aggression, well, there's gonna be bad blood between two factions. And if you have to do that to beat another faction in the first place, and then the faction you did that for suddenly opens up a way that might not involve fighting, then, well, great, I can't... It's just... I don't know how to phrase my difficulties here.
I remember it being something discussed when we initially embarked upon this reign, like, thing with the companies, and something like Manikai brought up, and it was like, it was been plain to see through like the civil warring and what have you. It's like occasionally multiple companies are needed to beat down one company.
Yeah.
You really have to commit or have some other sort of great advantage to beat down a company.
I think trying to make progress here through whatever means I think are plausible at the time has certainly more and more piled on more problems rather than giving me the progress I was hoping for. Like, I wanted to have the Spirehorn tribe. Like, that's been a long time goal. And I figured, yeah, I just caught them a bit. But then they required me to attack something. And I did that. I got a bit carried away, Elversol was destroyed, that's gonna bite me in the butt because reputation. And took a lot of my resources, which I could have used for something else. And because Elversol was destroyed, Thunderdome attacked me. which took a lot of my resources. And to fight Thunderhome, I approached the Fire Giants, which were like, okay, you can either give us something that you will not physically ever agree to giving to anyone because, there's gods involved, or you attack this faction that you cannot possibly beat. So that was a bad choice to make. And I couldn't really exactly say no because I worried that Thunderdome was stronger than me, so I needed the support.
Now, you no longer do need the support in this particular case. And I don't think Vigdis would be upset about it because ultimately she wanted sort of like a peace state between like the three factions here in the mountains anyway. And if that's been achieved, then she can just turn her attention elsewhere.
I mean, sure. I can probably just ask, hey, do you still want to do this? And if not, then I'll stop
She's always
going
going to
after
want
it.
I feel like she's not
The
investing
attempt has been
in
made.
it. Yeah.
Still not throwing her face down either. Now that doesn't mean that this is necessarily the end. There could be a future where the Red Banner does something else and weakens themselves, and that might open an opportunity. But no, she has time. What she doesn't want to do is commit fully to fight Thunderhome without having more strength than she has.
In that case, the approach probably then is, as we've seen in other factions' cases, and as the Red Banner host might be wont to do, wait for them to find a target of opportunity. Perhaps even a target of opportunity will be made for them somehow, and then they give it a try, and if they're weakened, then that'll be suitable for an attempt.
I also still feel bad about good old Zephyrston over there. Because I just, how am I supposed to keep my promise? I cannot.
It is a real damn pickle. He needs a body and a ritual to put him in that body, and he doesn't have much time left because of the nature of that body.
Oh yeah. I mean, he totally was like desperate. Like he might actually go to hell. Like be like, yo, hey, haha, I need a body.
Like, imagine if Zess is dead. He like somehow makes it with like his last bit of resources to like the front of Basarek, and Basarek's like, sure.
I don't think he would go there to make a deal.
I mean, who could say if he's that desperate?
I mean, he doesn't want to push it too far because he knows that you could just kill him without any real repercussions.
Well, if he's going to die anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't have a choice but to bide his time. He's been a dragon. He is a dragon, to his own mind at least. And
well,
solo a dragon still.
I'm trying to have the Harpers.
We're working things out.
Maybe he wouldn't be too resentful towards a silver dragon body, so long as it's a dragon body.
Either way, I mean, I would prefer if Rumenthir succeeded. That would please me greatly.
Rumenthir's gonna go help the Harpers.
Yeah. Do it.
Good for him. I'm glad that he can find.
I'm curious. You say there's no way you can help Zephyrston.
I mean, the idea was, okay, we want to kill Zinfisarius, so maybe that's something to pursue. But otherwise, like we're weaker than dragons of our own age category, basically, and we're already very young. So realistically, the only thing that Valignus could solve by himself would be like the bare minimum at best, and even that I'm not entirely sure about. But I don't want to open up another like can of worms while I have like 15 other things to pursue and to answer, and all these these questions that are immediately like necessary to answer, I just can't find arguments to pursue that now when there's so many other things. And I've just kept pushing that further and further away because that's important now, that's more important now, and I just can't justify it.
That's fair.
No, nothing wrong with that. Wanting to pursue other things as a player over the course of the session. I personally don't have any attachment to him. Like, he wasn't my story thread. Like, the whole like separation of him from Ophis Derelix was very much something that you were pursuing, Sheep. And so, like, I don't have any attachment to the character.
I mean, I want to actively try and help him, and I might have to split my resources between the Red Wizards and trying to help Harvest and Rumin very much.
Well, this thing with the Red Wizards and the mountains might not be a company thing. Depending on how we approach it.
Oh yeah.
Might be an us thing.
I don't know if we can deal completely with the Black Dragon through company thing. Like, it's a little hard because he's not technically on the map, but he's here. Like, I've been a little confused with that myself because it's like he's still a powerful enough entity, I suppose, that he, like, I don't quite know how to go about killing him because he's not represented, but also there's still factions that are fighting him. Like, it's a little unclear to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's much like it was with the Cloud Giants, right? There's some things that you defeated the Cloud Giants with faction,
Right.
but
Okay.
it was suddenly not the obvious. I attack him. I sent my way to stab the dragon because the dragon might just like that might not be sufficient to fight a creature of a certain level of power. So it operates on a different scale. All of you together? Well, it's pretty clear that he doesn't want to fight all of you together. Otherwise, he probably would have sought you out. You know? So
I
that
definitely do feel like
yeah, I always try to anticipate that you might want to get personally involved. Say it's like, you know what? I'm not going to attack the centaurs with my company. I'm going to attack them with my dragon friends, and then we all go beat up some centaurs, or something like that. I always try to anticipate it. So don't feel a need to not say, hey, let's go throw down with the dragon. If that's something you want to do.
He's in a very, very public place, sadly. So,
I mean, I'd love to do that more, but in most situations, it feels like I would have a hard time selling that to the other two dragons. It's like, hey, I want to subdue the Red Banner host so General Victus helps me. Like, I don't expect either the Cicatrix or Emmy to care.
Well, you've also like created Valignith as a sort of person who doesn't ask for help. Like, it was a big like momentous deal whenever he did reach out to Emissary Legiothere for help, and then she helped.
Yeah.
Against that in her own way.
Yeah.
Where Cicatrix loves to murder. Like, that much has been made clear over the 20-ish sessions. Like, you sign Vercicatrix up for, like, I get to, like, kill shit? I don't even have to travel that far? That sounds like a good time to me.
Well, I mean, I think it might also be, like, the dynamic might be able to more naturally change, because suddenly we all, like, there's a lot of new threats here. The Red Wizards, Cormier is going all crazy here. Like, for a little bit there, we sort of had stuff under control. We could, like, be involved in the Westgate situation without having to, like, weak in our other places. Like, I feel like it might be a natural thing now that it's like, okay, you know, just gotta be some ground control here because there's a lot of things around us, and yeah, we gotta start
Oh.
beating out some of this bullshit.
It was only a matter of sessions until the Red Wizards of Thay progressed their clock enough to show up here in the valley.
Oh yeah, but that's
Like,
what I mean. Like, I
yeah.
feel like that'll push us together automatically.
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, if the Red Banner host is attacking the Thickening, then he can't help me with the Red Wizards. So,
As
you
for
know.
Cormir, that's kind of a player created one.
Well, they are going to try to expand to the region, and given that they're a nation that's good, they're not really going to accept a lot of dragon meddling. So, not moving to stop Cormir, thereby antagonizing them, might just lead to Cormir owning the Dragon Coast, which is maybe also not ideal.
It's true, but there also was a time where their clock wasn't that high, and they also didn't own the Dragon Coast. There was a window there. Then their fleet got broken, which is great and fun and wonderful, but it also has pissed them off. And Elversol. Poor Elversol.
Well, you know what? That city kind of had it coming at this point. Yeah.
Poor Elversol. They get bullied by a red dragon that have the cultist of the cult of the dragon installed as leadership, and then
Well,
cascade.
they've always been a cultist city.
Nary, I think you're onto something very much. I think the convergence of things that are also close to all three of us will also result in more zoomed in action.
Yeah. But it also just mean it's like the chessboard is too cluttered, so I think automatically there's gonna be more of okay, well, I can sit here and spend 5 things to try and hide myself, but then take care of something stealthily, or I can go with my dragon buddies and fucking throw these people the hell out, so I can spend my time doing something that is more important to me.
And it's also a situation where taking a break directly from the coast, like the Dragon Coast, might not be so bad because Cormir is through Manakai's own words, paying adventurers to sabotage things along the coast. So if we take actions further from the coast, those adventurers will reach.
I definitely am considering temporary moving the market, or maybe more permanent moving us to the Eagle Fort. It's all this bullshit.
You let the heat die down. Oh yeah, you had your great fun, smashed the boats, and then.
Well, I still wanna I really wanna fucking get Sinister in that dragon, and it might be naive to think that he will definitely help us if he has one, but you know what? If he doesn't, we're gonna beat him up and tell him what a stupid dragon is.
Maybe the problem is that we're thinking big. What if we think small? There's got to be younger dragons around. Adventurer tier dragons. Maybe that's the problem.
There are some. You've heard of dragons in the Osram
Yeah, but
and
the Cicatrix know that this dragon is now working with devils, and she doesn't like that.
I'm talking about getting Zethus in a body.
Oh yeah, but why not murder this other dragon too?
Because apparently that's not happening, and that's been a goal for a long time.
I'm working on.
So instead, if you get Zethus in a smaller dragon body, then he doesn't have to be in the dying human body, and Therios can still die.
True.
I'm just suggesting that as a stopgap.
I mean, it's definitely something to work towards too. If I feel like the next couple sessions will sort of determine whether the Westgate thing will actually work or not.
Yeah. and some that we can discuss as well, either before or during next session, is how much we want to like focus or care about the Red Wizards. Like, because while that could be a company thing, I don't think that's an appropriate company thing.
No.
All right. I guess we're done here then.
Yeah. Thank you for playing. I hope everyone
you.
has an engaging time.
Good work, everyone.
Things were accomplished. Things were revealed. And of course, from my perspective, it's hard to know how much of that all gets put together. But yeah, I'm excited for more.
Next time, we get shot out of the sky by magic missile. Tune in, folks.
Hopefully.